Hello, everyone. This is Vans from Kopi With Vans. That's right. Today, I do not have my coffee cup, but that doesn't mean the show doesn't go. The show will go. I have close to 30 over live audiences here right now with me at the RVS Mind Science and together with Dr. Ravi. But before that, I'm going to talk a little bit on this topic. And we have noticed that a lot of times we have a lot of challenges telling no to people, right? But we always like to impress the people. And also, if you notice that my mask is on the way, but we have to wear the mask because we want to make sure that we are always safe. And because we are doing an indoor with a lot of audiences, so we want to make sure that everybody's wearing masks. Yes, coming to the topic itself, develop the heart of saying no to the wrong situations. And without any delay, I'm going to get Dr. Ravee Vellu S on board. Hello, doctor.
Hello, hi.
How are you, there, sir?
I'm good. I'm good.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome. Actually, I should be welcoming you for this show because it's my premises.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's right. So, how about a 5 year dog? Come on, five.
Hi.
Right,
Yeah.
5 year. But before dog, can I just show the audiences that? Can I show the virtual audiences how many audiences we have here?
Yeah, sure. Of course.
Right, I'm going to show
Please
you all
do.
right
Yeah.
now. Da-da. Let me just bring it over here. Okay. Okay, this is all our audiences. Am I seeing right? Correct? Can you see? Oh, no. Can you see the face? Yeah, say hello. Hi. Okay, everybody is a little shy, but later we warm them up. Okay, my specs is getting foggy, but doesn't matter. All right, doctor. So you want to do a quick introduction about where we are and also your place before we kickstart the topic today?
Yes, right. We are at RVS Mind Science, and this is where we conduct our courses, classes, therapies, and consultations. We are located at Golden Mile Tower, Beach Road.
All right, doctor. And this place is such a beautiful place, but even when I'm here, I feel very calm and very relaxed. Any particular reason, doctor?
Yeah, basically, we try to create as much positivity here. A lot of meditations are done here. A lot of spiritual causes are also conducted here. And we try to keep this place as much serene as possible. And
All
that's
right.
why the ambience is in such a state.
Thank you, doctor, for inviting me to your RVS Mind Science. Doctor, it's my pleasure. This is, I think, our fifth time
Yes, right.
going through this topic. I mean, we have a different topic, but on the part where psychology and motivational factor comes in, and I know that this topic that we choose, particularly for today, about saying no.
Yeah.
Why did we even choose that, doctor? Maybe we want to tell this to our
Yeah.
audience first.
Like I was telling you the other day, I've been doing metaphysical science consultations for the past 17 years. And we do have a lot of people who came here with depressions and they go through a lot of hustles in life and they always wonder why life is such a torturous feeling for me. And when I actually sit down and analyze why a lot of people go through hardships and depressions, it is partially because of some third parties or external parties, but majority of the problem lies within ourselves. And what is that problem? Basically, we dare not say no to a lot of negative situations that arise in our life. That inability to say no causes a lot of pain and frustrations within us, which eventually leads us to depression. So that's the reason I chose this topic: how to cultivate the art of saying no to situations that is not favorable to our lifestyle. Yeah.
Thank you, doctor. And also, I can see as live viewers right now typing in your messages. Please do type in because we are going to communicate with you guys as well. If you do have any questions, we're going to take them as well. Our audiences here, you all can also ask us questions, but later part we have some Q&A time, right? Okay, doctor, we're going to dive into the topic. Okay, so I got a very close friend. Um, Everything that he says, I will say yes. But there was one particular point I got to say no, and the whole relationship has just stopped.
Okay.
I'm feeling bad about it. This happened about 4 years back. I did a lot of reflection, and I thought myself, I should have said yes, but I've lost a friend. So how can we assure? How can we confirm that saying no will be a positive?
See, first you have to understand why you said that no. That's the most important thing. If you said no because of some selfish reasons or something that you did not even think about and you just budge in saying no, then maybe you should regret. But if you said no because you know that saying yes is going to hurt you or saying no that is going to save you, then you did not feel bad about it. And a true friend will understand when you say no. If he's not understanding you, or if he's going to get offended with you for saying no, then, in my opinion, he doesn't deserve to be your friend. He's not even understanding why you said that no. So if you really feel that no saved you for that moment, then don't feel bad about it. Go ahead with it. You can't be suffering and you can't get injured, and then you say yes to somebody, and for the rest of the life, you're going to regret.
Okay, doctor, I got that. But we call it the bottom of the heart or the top of the heart. Some people just go dwell on it and get very emotional, a lot of tears. They probably even think that, hey, why did I make a choice? I should have just said yes. But often it also comes with financial matters. Hey, can I get a $600 or $500? So during that point of time, if you don't help, you feel very bad. But even if you help, later you feel bad. So in those kind of situation, what one should do?
Okay, that is where. Basically, you see, we are ruled by two minds, the intelligent mind and the emotional mind. Of course, there are many other minds, but we are basically ruled by the intelligent mind and the emotional mind. The intelligent mind is something that always teaches us the logical point of life. It gives you the exact situations, the truth, and nothing but the truth. The emotional mind always make you think about feelings, goodness, badness, and then you decide life from that. So, in my opinion, most of the time, if you really want to make a decision, try to use the intelligent mind rather than the emotional mind. Like, say, for example, if your friend asks you for $600, if you have $60,000 in the bank and you want to give the $600, it's basically an intelligent mind decision. Well, you can always tell yourself he might give you back the money or he might not give you back the money. Either way, doesn't matter. But if you only have $600 in the bank and your friend is asking for that 600, then it's logical to say no to him. Not that you don't want to help, because you need the money as well. So your intelligent mind will naturally tell you, don't give the money because you only have $600. Your emotional mind will naturally tell you, you have $600, why not you help him? That is where you need to use your intelligent mind. You cannot be helping someone and you suffer end of the day. Eventually, the helping sense in you will die off. So we cannot be a candle. Like I always tell this in my class, you cannot be a candle. They always use this philosophy, I'm like a candle. I burn myself, but I give flame to everybody. But matter of time, the candle flame will die off because there's no more wax. You cannot be a candle because eventually you will die off. Right? So be practical. If you want to give someone $600, make sure you have at least $6,000 or $60,000 in the bank. Then that $600, even if it doesn't come back to you, doesn't matter. But if you only have $600 and you want to expand it on your friend in the name of help, then eventually you are going to suffer. And worse still, if you're going to borrow $600 for him, there are people who does these kind of things. They don't have the $600, but they go around borrowing for their friend so that their friend can get the $600. That is even worse. These are the situations that sometimes we need to learn how to say no. Some people may classify this as selfish, but at this juncture, I would like to say that this cannot be a selfish act. You have to protect yourself first. That is important. Only when you are protected, you can help others in the long run.
Thank you, Doctor. I'm going to read out some of the comments from our live viewers right here from virtually. Say, good evening, Dr. Ravee and Dr. Vellu S. Vanan. Great topic to discuss where most of us learn to say these magic words to secure ourselves from not to fall in wrong trap or difficult situation. You have just answered.
Yes, right.
Doctor.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Samantha, thank you so much. You also said that agree. You will take a friend will take all the criticism and should understand when we should share because we care. I'm going to read out one more. At times, by Lakshmi, at times he said, thinking that is our duty among siblings, but once you say no, you begin worrying by them. Is this happen to the EM mind person on our score? Well said, Dr. Ravee. And said, Doctor, so we now we learn to say no. So out of 100 friends, I start saying no because I start to realize that it's self first before others. But there are a lot of people who always think no, others first, then self. Then they go into these emotional situations.
Yeah.
They go into heartbroken, repair, or damage, whatever situation it can be. But end of the day, doctor, probably I only left with 2 or 3 friends. So that's going to impact me. Do you think that will impact a person? if
No.
they have only very limited friends?
Okay, well, if you're going to look at quantity, the number of people in, like I always say, in your Facebook, you can have 5,000 friends, but how many will come to your funeral? So, what is the definition of friends? I rather have one quality friend who understands me in and out, who knows why I say yes and why I say no, rather than thousand friends who are going to get offended if I say no. Then, in the first place, they are not your friends at all. You
Okay.
have to understand that. Like I used to give this simple example. A layman went to a guru and he told the guru, "Why are my friends are talking behind my back? And I feel very depressed." And the guru said, "Who are they?" "My friends." "What did they do?" "They talked behind my back." The guru said, "In the first place, they are not your friends. So why worry about them? Because if they are your real friends, they will not be judging you or talking bad about you. So you're talking about someone called friends who are actually not your friends. Stop worrying about them."
Thank you, Doctor. As we have almost 40 over live viewers, thank you, viewers. Thank you so much. And also, our audiences here right now, probably they have already have a few questions in mind. Please do engage us later part. We're going to have a great discussion among all the three factors, all right? Ourselves, live audience, and virtual as well. Thank you so much. Dana has also messaged us. Sorry, joining late. Dr. Ravee and Vans, beneficial sessions that you are sharing and the benefit of all. Thank you so much. More messages are coming in. Calvin, thank you, Calvin. Good topic for discussion. Money is the root of problem for many of us. Relationship ruined, damaged. Thank you so much, guys. If you're watching this, please do share and like. Like I said, like Dr. Ravi and myself said, we want to go out of the circle to reach out to many more people to share this valuable information. So please engage us. Please do share and like. Thank you. Doctor, I'm going to ask one of the audiences right here, right now,
Sure.
for a particular question that we can engage.
Hmm.
Maybe the gentleman all the way at the back. Sir, thank you. So now you're facing a situation where you are emotionally down and you got to help someone because that $1,000, okay, that's an example, huh, sir? Not judging you, but $1,000, and then you felt that $1,000 you need to use for yourself. So in that kind of situation, what do you do, sir?
Um, like what I just learned also. If I have $1,000 only, and I have to lend someone $1,000, I would save myself. And I would say no.
Thank you, sir. So you will say no. Doctor, is that right? Or wrong?
Practically, yes. You see, I'm quite sure there are quite a number of them who might say that, "Hey, how come you're so selfish? You don't want to help people." But the truth is, help should come only when you are ready to help yourself. If you're not in the situation to help yourself and you think about helping other people, that help will not sustain for a long period of time, because eventually you will get drained out. And to those people who always says that I will go all the way out to help people, I will only ask them one question. You can do that provided when you're badly hurt, when you're badly injured, you must keep quiet. Don't complain about it after that. If you don't have the power to sustain those kind of criticism or those kind of hurt, then don't go around telling I'm willing to help anyone at all costs, because eventually you will suffer. So even you want to help others, ask yourself, are you in the position to help?
Okay.
Yeah. Like a simple another example I would like to say to what this gentleman just said. I spoke to one of my friend who's a lawyer, and I asked him once, because I went through that situation. I told him, someone is asking me to sign guarantor. They want me to be a guarantor for a house they are buying, but I'm not really in favor, and I don't know how to say no to him because he's my good friend. And what shall I do? And my lawyer friend said, okay, listen, tell your friend this. If I am a guarantor, if I am a guarantor, I'm taking responsibility for your loan, right? I'm not saying that you're going to cheat me or you will run away. But if even anything happens to you, I might be held responsible for this loan. And there's no guarantee that nothing will happen to you, right? I know you won't cheat me, but there's no guarantee nothing will happen to you. And if anything happens to you, the amount is very huge, which I don't have it in my bank account. That means if you are no more, I am going to suffer. I don't want to go through that hustle, and I don't think so. I can help myself with that hustle. So I think I'm not the right person to give you a guarantor. So if you want me to guarantor for 100,000, you must find someone who's already a millionaire. For him, this 100,000 is not a big sum of money. So even if that 100,000 goes missing, for him it's nothing. But for me, an average Singapore citizen making my life meet ends of the month, I don't think so. I can commit for that amount. And I eventually told my friend, yes, I don't think so. I want to be a guarantor. True enough, I lost his friendship. I
Okay.
lost friendship. But initially, I felt bad. But now, when I think about it, yes, it was a good thing. If I am going to see for him, then if anything goes wrong, who's going to look after my family? It's not that I'm not willing to help. I am not at the capacity to help. We have to understand this. When we want to help someone, we need to have that capacity to help that someone, not sacrificing your life and then you go around all helping people in this way. No, we have to be practical. We have to be really practical here.
Gotcha, Doctor. Thank you so much. I'm going to give some credits to Dana. Thank you so much, Dana. Beneficial sessions. You're sharing for the benefit of all. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Please do share. Ranjini also well. Manageable. In my view, I am still manageable, but not immediate relatives. Okay, we will maybe cover that in a while.
Mm.
Chavani also has said, my sense of life, my goal is to overflow in order for me to render the help towards others. I will address my needs, but won't the helping hand, help those who help themselves. So, Doctor, we are seeing, even our viewers also
Mm.
agreed, and some of them, as we are going to engage, that that they come to a point, okay, yes, self first before others.
Mm.
But unfortunately, this emotional gut feel or the heart says no, you got to help. Then rationally we think say no, we shouldn't, and then the gut tells you don't. In this juncture, which one should we listen to? The brain, to the heart, or to the gut?
It's basically like just what I said, intelligent mind versus emotional mind. Intelligent wins, emotions drowns you. It's good to have emotions, but you cannot be always emotional. No one can stay without emotions. We all have emotions, but you cannot become emotional throughout your life. So the decisions that you make in your life should be based on intelligence rather than emotional mode. That's what I always tell a lot of people. Emotions is a part of our life. We cannot run away, but you cannot be making decisions out of your emotions. It's very
Okay.
important. See, even I've seen couples who come to me for marriage consultations on psychological topics. Like I've seen girls who came to me and said, "I know this guy for 3 years. Right from the time I know him, he's beating me. He's abusive." Then my next question is, "Then why are you with him?" Because I love him. I said, your emotions say love him, but your intelligent mind is clearly indicating that it's going to be abusive. After marriage, do you think he's not going to be abusive? So there is really a kind of a situation for you to make a decision. And if you're going to use your emotions, most probably you'll end up with him. But if you're going to use your intelligence, you will make a wiser choice. So if that girl is going to tell the guy, no, we'll break off, that doesn't mean that she's telling no for the wrong reasons. She is defending herself. She's telling no for the right reasons. She should have the courage to do that.
Gotcha that, Doctor. Thank you so much. Thank you, viewers, and thank you to the live audiences as well. We are into 20 minutes. Time just flies. I'm going to ask another question to the audiences. All right, maybe for someone, anybody out there, just raise up your hands. Probably I can ask you. How will you handle a situation when you are in a situation of both emotional and rational? Which one will you decide? If let's say someone, maybe G, your lifestyle, you have went through so many years. I mean, I have interviewed you the previous session. You told many good positive feedbacks. How will you handle when someone comes to you for help and you know that you can't do the help?
See, okay, like what Doctor said, I already have 500 words, and they are asking me for 500 words. The first thing I will say is that I can't afford to help you because I don't have the money. I will tell them the truth. But the problem is, if you never say anything, they will take it as, yeah, I'm going to give. They
Okay.
take it as, I'm going to give. If I never say anything. also. So that's one part where I will be stuck in between to say yes or to say no. If I say no, you will say, hey, how come? Difficult to say. You know, the kind of
The rumors. The
rumors,
rumors. Okay.
the kind of dialogues and all that is good. And if I say yes, they are very happy. But in my heart, I'll say, oh, I only have $500. I need to give this person the $500. What am I going to do?
Okay. So you are taking in that aspect. Maybe a lady, maybe yourself. How would you handle the situation? Samantha, right? Samantha. How do you handle the situation? I mean, he has spoken from a nice point of view. He said, I will just do it what I necessary. But if that situation comes to you, what would your suggestion? Or what's your advice?
I've had a situation like that before.
Okay.
Right? When a good friend, wanted to borrow a certain amount of money,
Okay.
I will be honest. I will explain my situation. Being, for example, a single mother with 3 kids, I might not be able to lend you that full sum that you're asking for, but to show that the genuine care, that I'm really there for you, I might partial.
Right.
I wouldn't give the whole amount. Otherwise, then
Yeah,
I'll
exactly.
in jeopardy myself and my family. But at least I make the effort of whatever I can do within my.
Within your limit. But then what happens after all case, and there's always these type of cases, right? When someone wants help, they come after you, they fall on your feet, everything's nice. After that help is done, they disappear. So how will you feel?
As long as I've done my part, I mean, at the end of the day, we can't really tell whether the person is really telling the truth or not.
Yes.
Right? So we base on ourselves. We've done what we're supposed to do. We help. And then if the person is gone, I mean, it's our loss, but it's an experience gain. Right? Yeah. There's so many ways.
That's how you look at it. But very honestly said, I'm not sure how many of them has this ability to look at the situation from the angle that you have seen. Majority of them, when they help and then eventually the help is not recognized or no gratitude is shown or the repayment is not made, definitely they will feel very hurt. So my suggestion is, if you think that you really want to help someone out of goodwill, tell your mind that this help is not going to be returned. Well, if it comes back, let it be a bonus. If not, it's gone. If you're not ready to help someone in this mindset, then my idea, don't help. Because anything can change. If that person is not going to show the gratitude back, then you might regret. Why go through that pain? So when you want to do, just do it and don't expect anything in return. But not many people can go through that kind of a mind mode.
On a lighter side, if I'm going to say no to my wife, I think I don't have soru and tanni. Right? I don't have water and food. Doctor, so saying no. So why is it okay, doctor?
Depends.
Okay.
If you need to, you have to.
Okay.
Yeah, it's true. You see, whoever it is, if you think that you need to say no, even if it's your children, whether it's your spouse, your boss, if you need to say no because of some reasons, because if you say yes, you're going to get hurt, then you have to say the no. And why am I telling that even to your wife, you need to say the no? Because first time you might say no. Second time you will say no. Or third time, first time you might say yes. Second time you will say yes. Trust me, in the long run, you will become a volcano. You will erupt one day. You rather put the stop initially. See, I've seen many couples, initial stages, the lovey-dovey period, everything okay. In Malay, they say, right, suma pun boleh. Right? Everything okay. But as years goes by, they cannot tolerate this anymore. They will start questioning themselves. Why am I always saying yes to this person? And then one day, the whole thing will erupt. Don't go to that level. Put a stop right at the beginning. But again, you have to understand one thing. When you are saying no to somebody, you don't have to be aggressive. You can be firm, but be polite. That is very important. That is where the art of saying no comes in. You don't just go around say cannot, no, why should I? No, not that way. We can put it in a very diplomatic sense. I have considered about it, but at this moment, I don't think I can do this for you. I'm very sorry. If you really have other means, please source out. We can talk to them in that approach. That is also no. Then that is where the art of saying no comes in. You say no, like you say, when an insurance agent approaches us, We don't have to say, no need, I don't want to buy from you, I don't like your face. We don't have to say that. We can say, I have other policies and I have an agent who has been servicing more for 20 years. I will consult him, or I will try to talk to him, and then eventually one day I'll come back to you if I need your insurance. Put it in that way. You don't have to say, no, I don't want to buy from you. You don't have to do that. Put it in an explanatory note. Say the no in a very diplomatic sense. That itself is the art.
Thank you, Doctor. Well said. We are now at almost 30 minutes. We have also have Lakshmi Sega. Beside other help, you only remembered when the person need your help. Other
She's the
than that,
only one who's communicating through Facebook when she's here.
oh, Lakshmi is here.
Yes.
Oh, Lakshmi, hi. Oh, Lakshmi. How are you? That's good. Thank you. So finally, I made you. So in the king, yeah, but we're still communicating. So yeah, we are still communicating. Thank you so much. That's perfectly said. I'm opening up to the audiences. Any audiences? Any questions here? Anything that you want to ask? Don't be shy. Yes, please.
Dr. Sam,
Mm.
you said trying to say no to your bosses.
Yes.
I'm just trying to say, how would you actually put something through to your boss?
Okay, we say it depends what is he asking you to do. If that's the nature of your job, you don't go to say no. They'll fire you. But if you know very well that it's not the nature of your job, or you are not actually fit or capable to handle that job scope they are giving you, tell them in a very diplomatic way, I'm not used to this. And according to my job scope, this was not actually stated. And I'm not sure whether I can contribute to the company if I take this. So how sure are you that I can do it? Can we discuss about this? This is what I mean by diplomacy. You don't immediately go and tell him, I saw this job scope, I checked with the HR, nothing like that I don't want to do. Then the boss will say, yes, very good. Most probably there is the last Christmas there. Yeah. So put it in such a way that I don't know whether whatever I'm going to contribute will benefit the company. I don't know whether I'm really capable, because when I came for the interview, initially they did not tell me this part of it. So are you sure that I can handle this, or are you going to guide me? Put it in that tone. That is also saying no, actually. Yeah. Indirectly, yes.
Thank you for that, Deepam and Doctor. So yes, right now we are going into Spotify, which is live, and Apple Podcast as well. So you can download it and you can listen. So now we are going into the different segment. Doctor, a lot of youth are getting into a lot of problem. Of course, we have talked about the friendship. We're now going to talk about the youth. Then we come to the adult, which is obviously we can definitely cover. The youth seems to be getting into a lot of trouble nowadays, which is smoking, drinking, and a lot of bad ways, going into gangster, the group fighting, and some are going into vaping, cool, I'm doing that, you also doing that. So this becomes like a competition, or rather to say that this is standard, I have this, I want to do it. What is the mindset of a youth nowadays, Doc? Because they seems to be very hooked on the social media, and they don't have the power of saying no to their friends when trouble, inviting them. What would your advice be for the youth nowadays?
Okay. Basically, with my experiences of doing motivation talks for students, I wouldn't say every youth is behaving that way. Of course, we have those who can really know how to control their mind, how to say yes and how to say no. They know all these things. But of course, there's the other group of people who are very influenced by their friends and they're not saying no. Why? Because the lack of confidence. Because when their friends are doing something and they say, no, I don't want to do this, they feel that they are not hero enough, or they feel that they are shying away, or they are running away, and the group people might not kind of friend them. And that fear actually kind of make them say yes to all the nonsense that they're doing sometimes. So that is where the youngsters need to develop the culture of saying no when they consciously know that something is not right.
Got it, doctor. But sometimes parents also worried, right? Now we're coming to the parents part. We want the child to be this, we want child to be lawyer, we want child to be doctor, and kind of so these ambitious, which whatever they have it, they can't fulfill. They push it to the kids, and the kids are not going into because they have a different liking. So they want to be a musician, they want to be a whatever position they want to be in their life. But because of these parents' pressure to the kids. And kids are definitely, have to say, the youth nowadays are going through a tremendous stress. You can actually see some of the cases where taking their life away, and that has also been increasing or probably decreasing. I'm not sure about stats, but it has been there. Where do we stand in between parents and youth? And one part, youth is going under challenges of not able to say no to whoever they need to. Then parents are having trouble, putting a lot of pressures into their kids. So our kids, our youth, are they very vulnerable at this stage?
Depends. It all depends. You see, nowadays the students have a lot of avenues to express their feelings. Those days during my time, whatever our parents said, that was the final word, more or less. But today, the children have an avenue where they can speak to their teachers and the school counselors. Whereas my time, I don't think there was a school counselor. If we really have a counselor, means someone when we got a problem, then we send to a counselor. But today's schools have counselors and teachers are willing to listen to the students. So if the student is feeling that the parents are pressurizing them, the best is they should go and talk to the teacher or the school counselors and explain what they really can cope and what they can't cope. And from there, definitely the authorities will do the necessary action and do something good for them.
Got it, doctor. So parents who are watching this, like what Dr. Ravi has mentioned, wealth of experiences coming through. We get a great discussion here. We are going into Spotify as well as Apple Podcasts and live in YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook as well. So if you're watching this, please do share and like. Like we mentioned earlier, we're trying to go out of that circle, and our live audiences as well have done that. So I hope virtually you're also doing that. Thank you so much. So now we're going back to the adults, doc. So we're trying to move up and down. Of course, the love issues come in. They're getting hurt, getting emotional, past bad experiences. The new experiences comes in, and they're still saying no. And of course, they've got to say yes at some point of time, but they're still saying no because of the bad experiences. In that area, how they can move from no to yes.
You mean reject?
Yeah, rejection, but they've got a fear of moving on. So that's what they're concerned about. Whether this guy would cheat me or whether this girl cheat me, the bad experiences has come forward to them in the current future or the current present moment.
You see, that is where again, like I said, the intelligent mind needs to work. Even love is one of the most powerful emotions, right? Love is a powerful emotion, but even that love emotion should be exercised with intelligence. You cannot say that I love this person, so I'll tolerate everything they do. I will go through pain. I will suffer. I will tolerate. One day this guy will change or this woman will change and we are going to lead a happy life. You cannot be torturing yourself. At one point of time, you must put your foot down and make a decision and say whether you want that relationship or you don't want that relationship. No point being in a relationship where you are totally tolerating the relationship for donkey years. So that is where you need to put your foot down and decide. And for those people who have difficulties in making that decision, whether you should carry on with this relationship or not, that is where you need to seek professional help. There are marriage counselors, there are psychologists. Talk to them, ask them for their views and opinions, and get a guideline from them, and eventually make a decision. You see, one thing about this one and saying no, you cannot teach someone to say no. I can give the pros and cons. That no must come from that person. If you are not going to say no, then the rest of the life you might be suffering.
Right.
So the no has to come from you, but you can get a lot of help and you can get a lot of suggestions and professional help from everyone. But that no, you need the courage and you need to develop it.
Okay, doctor. So if someone who has already been damaged or under the repair mode, they got to move,
Yes.
but they can't move because, like what I mentioned earlier, we have these big baggages that's dragging down and slowing down. All right. All of us go through challenges. All of us go through obstacles. At certain point, we lose confidence. We lose everything that whatever we have, the motivation, the energy. We are just living day by day, and we are prolonging life in such a manner that is very sour and miserable. At that point of time, because they have not said no earlier in the past, that actually bring them to this situation. And from this situation, if someone is asking, like, hey, Chana Mohan is asking us as well, how can we just change the mindset? But even how much you talk to a person also, they can't just change. You talk and talk and talk, they're just not willing to change. At that point of time, what can family members or friends
No one can do anything. Like I always say, we can help everyone. They need to make a decision in their life. Like you see, if you tell me you're hungry, I can buy for you drinks, I can buy for you burgers, I can buy for you meals. But if you refuse to eat, I can't do anything. So for those people who don't want to say no, but complaining that my life is full of baggages and I'm suffering and I'm not moving progress, then the problem is not the other party, it's you. We have to accept that because they are very complacent and they're feeling very comfortable complaining about the other person, saying that it's because of this person I'm suffering, but I can't move my life. No, you are not making a decision about your life. That is the problem. And you have to put your foot down and make a decision. If you're 10 years old, I can understand. If you're 20 years old, I can still understand. But if you're 40 and you dare not make a decision about your life, then something is wrong with the way you're thinking. You definitely need a professional help, someone to guide you and make you move to the next level of your life.
Doctor, I think we have talked about this topic about getting help. And a lot of us probably, if you are seeing a counselor or if you are seeing a psychologist or any kind of therapist, we have this feel, oh, I got problem, I got issue, this stigma. And I know we have covered this, but of course, for
Yeah.
our audiences and as well as our live audiences, I mean, we are both area that we are talking about. How can we just overcome this stigma in the mind? And that's exactly what Cindy has asked. The stigma within me, I can't just seems to move on. Please help.
First thing you have to understand, there is no one person in this world without a stigma. Every human beings have some kind of a baggage, some kind of an embarrassment, some kind of a stigma that is stuck to them. So you have to understand you are not the only one who's having a stigma. Please overcome that. And life is full of challenges. Everyone has reached a certain level of their life only after going through a lot of pain, a lot of embarrassment, and a lot of stigma. So if you think that your stigma is actually kind of pulling you down or you're stuck in that stigma, please see a therapist. Whether it's going to be a clinical side therapist or whether it's going to be a parapsychological side of therapist, go and seek their assistance and get this thing done. Nowadays, they have a lot of therapists which they help you to come out from such kind of stigmas. Approach them. Don't live with it. Move on.
Thank you, Doctor. I'm going to take one question right now. The present times, both parents are working. So we find, I think she's a mom, and I think she's probably asking for herself or maybe for her family members, relatives. We find that children are influenced by their peers. And I think that we covered earlier. What can we do to make our children follow the correct path? Because parents have to work 15 hours, 16 hours. Nowadays, you look at it, targets has reached and they are working timeless. They are working day in, day out, day in, day out. And they tend to spend few hours or before they go to bed. So
Okay.
there's a really off balance in this family life balance.
Correct.
We call it. What can we do?
Okay, as much as we are telling that they are influenced by the peers, every parent should ask this question. When their child was born, right from the time their child was born, they were very interested in buying books like A for Apple, B for Boy. They were very much interested in doing that. They were very interested in engaging them in computer classes, play groups, and all kind of music classes, ballets, and so on. But how many parents actually sat down and talked to the child right from the young age the principles of life? Whether let it be Bible, let it be the Quran, or let it be the Bhagavad Gita, how many people have used such texts with their children and explained the good nature of all those positive messages? We don't. When the child is born, we are more interested in teaching them English. We are more interested in teaching them maths and more interested in teaching them everything that is needed to survive for their living, and we don't educate their life. There's a difference between living and life. We have to understand. As much as we want to do a lot of things for their living, for our children's living, we must take care of their life. It's our responsibility to sit down and tell them what feelings are like, how people really feel, what is the right path, what is the wrong path, what is the wrong path can lead up to. This is a parent's responsibility. Don't wait until the peers come and convince them. Why can't you convince them in the first place? You see, simple thing, one, and I always ask this question in my class. In fact, I can ask them. Most of us who have children would have told our children when they were young, never, never steal. Why? If you steal, police will catch you. This is what we told them. Don't steal, police will catch you. Then when police catch you, you got a record, the papers, all your face will be published in the papers, then in future you cannot get a job. But how many of us actually tell our children, don't steal? Why? Because when somebody loses their money, they become very depressed. It is again humanity, and their family will suffer. Why do we need to take in such kind of curses? Why must their family suffer because of you? So don't steal for that reason. We are all self-centered in our teaching. We tell them not to steal because our family should not get a bad name. And the child, what the child thinks, and the thing, child is always remember the children are smarter. When you tell the child, don't steal, police will catch you, the first thing that runs in the child's mind is, so police never see I can steal lah. That's the truth. Like when we tell our child, one day I want you to become a doctor. Most of them would have said it when our child was young, right? One day I want you to become a doctor. Why? Because you get a good name. Everybody will respect you. It's a good salary. One day you're very settled in your life. But how many of us actually teach our children, I want you to be a doctor because you can save many lives. Many families need their loved ones. So because of your expertise and knowledge in the medicine, you will be able to save a lot of family people. You can invent a lot of medicines. You can save a lot of life. Are we really educating them in this way? We want our children to study, but not many wants them to be educated. There's a difference between studied and educated. Like I always tell my class students, you can have a doctorate degree, you can have a master's degree. That doesn't qualify you to be an educated person. Education and studied are two different things. If you have educated your child, then the peers will not be able to penetrate through them. But you have made your children study. They have studied very hard. They got all the diplomas and all the degrees, yet a peer pressure is kind of attacking them. Why? Because they don't have the educated system in their mind. And for them, we have to do it. And that comes from the young age. I don't know the person who asked me this question. I don't know how old their kid is.
Yep.
But at least for the next generation, we should, as parents, sit down and give them the guidelines of goods and bads.
Definitely, we have a lot of viewers are answering and communicating as well. Heyman, Amen. Agreed. True. Fully agree. Thank you. Thank you so much for all that. Now, opening up to the audiences here. It's a bit quiet here right now. We need to warm up. So, any of you are going through any kind of experiences that you want to share that you are not shy of? Yes, please. Madam.
Just be a bit louder.
Yeah, just speak louder.
Just was talking about the youth.
Yeah.
They are going into the vulgarism.
Yes.
Beside of that, the youth noticing that when we ask them to do something, for example, a simple thing, go downstairs to the shop and get something, they will say immediately no.
Okay.
But later, after 10 minutes or what, when the friend called, hey, come go for a tea or what, immediately you can see them packing and
Yeah.
What happened?
Got
They
it.
say, oh, my friend, I'm going out for tea. I don't understand this from
Madam, don't worry. Before Dr. Ravi will reply, I'm going to get the answer for you. Okay?
Because one had done that also.
Yeah, because I done it. I'm going to ask few youth here because you got Sec 4, I think you got Sec 3, Sec 3?
No, Sec 4, they are
Sec
twins.
4, they got Sec 2 behind. Okay, never mind. Maybe, okay, we start with you, madam. Why? When mother tell you to go down, do you go and buy? You can buy, yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Google,
See, so the problem is not the youth, it's your child.
boy.
It's a boy. Okay, maybe we ask the boy behind. You buy. Okay, the boy said he buy.
Yes, I believe also.
Okay. Okay, so the boy said, so madam, is it because the way you say?
Not exactly. Usually nowadays we must be more softer talking to the youth. Already. I
Okay.
learned that.
Very good.
Or is it because you never give extra $2 for him to buy this Nutella? Nowadays you must give bribe, like $1, $2. This one you buy for me, this one for you lah change.
Still no.
Still no, huh? They still no. Doctor?
Yes, possible.
Yeah.
Basically, I wouldn't say everyone is like that
Mm.
because I have seen children who always like to go to the shop because the girl in the shop is very pretty.
Oh,
So it also depends, right? The motive of going to the shop.
Oh, doctor, then we need to prepare a lot of stuff.
Oh,
you know?
yes, of course. Okay,
Okay.
jokes aside.
Yeah.
Okay, basically, this comes as a part of rebellious attitude, rebellious towards the family. See, we have to understand a lot of children, it's not only in your family, Lakshmi, a lot of children tend to please their friends and not their parents. We have to accept it. And that is only to a certain age. And how old is your son? Should be the 20s. Correct? That is the age that friends is the world for them. And then when they reach 30s and 40s and 50s, these friends will not be in their picture. You ask yourself, you look at your phone book and your friends list, whoever was in your friends 25 years ago, now they are not there. You don't even know where they are. Right? So somehow or other, your mindset changes, the maturity changes, you become family oriented. That is where parents become important, wife become important, husband becomes important. That goes with the growth. At this age, it is quite common for me to say that he can say no to you, but he can say yes to friends. It's just an age, and this is the generation. We have to accept that. So since you know that many times you have asked him, okay, don't ask him.
Once a while you will do.
Yeah, correct.
But mostly I don't ask.
Okay.
What you do, madam? 24 years old, right? 24 years old, right? Have you married? Haven't married, yeah? You see, after you get married, whether the wife says go, you will go or not?
So that's the
Why or not,
difference,
right?
lah.
You will sure go one. Then whatever you want, right? You don't tell him, you tell the wife. The wife will tell your son, your husband. See, you get the things down, but you still get the things done, right, no?
This is not a really a very serious issue, Lakshmi, because it happens
I
in
just
most
wonder
houses.
Yes.
What kind of mindset, I mean, thinking they are having.
Basically, they don't find the importance of helping parents. But let me tell you, I don't want to put a kind of a stigma on them. But if you really need it, you are in some kind of a trouble and you need him to go to the shop, trust me, that child will go. Somehow or other, majority of the students that I have met in that age group or children I've met in that age group, they certainly will do for the parents if there is an extreme need for that. So this is just a one-off thing that at this age, students behave this way. Our topic today, more of saying no, is not on this surface level, but on a deeper level of not saying no because, and yet they are suffering. That is our context here.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you for the audiences as well. I'm going to take one more question from the audience before we jump into the topic. 46 minutes of blissful, great discussion going on. Viewers are engaging as well. Thank you so much. In fact, there's so many messages coming in. Thank you so much. We will try to attend to that as well. Audiences here, we're throwing one more question to you guys. What are the things that you want to share? I mean, in terms of your life experiences when you were a kid or when you have said no and that has benefited you. Because nowadays youth also doesn't listen to us. Like this madam has said, telling the kid to go down, she doesn't want to go down. Very rebellious. Sometimes they don't want to listen. Sometimes they're lazy. Because sometimes mom only telling me what. What other experiences? Come on, anybody? Silence is not golden. If you're not going to ask me, I'm going to ask you. Anybody? Yes, sir.
Saying no.
A bit louder, sir. Thank you.
Saying no.
Yeah.
How can we get out of this situation when we keep saying no and they keep asking?
Okay. உங்களுக்கே ஒரு testing. There's a testing for you right now. Yeah?
முடியாது என்னால முடியல.
Okay.
They keep asking, they repeat every month.
Yeah. Even though you say no.
Even though we say
Oh, it's not a very hardcore.
Hardcore.
And they also know that wife's
Situation. Yet they're asking.
and medically I have to support her and all that.
Okay.
But every month they will ask.
Okay.
But the problem is, it's not outsider, it's a family member.
Okay. Good. Understand. Okay. One thing, if you were to ask me, as many times as they ask you again and again and again, you have to say no again and again and again. You cannot stop them from asking because the way you are telling me, if I want to be blunt, I have to say that they are thick-skinned. If I want to be blunt, they are thick-skinned. So their intention is, if they are going to pressurize you, if they are going to be very, very persistent, one day you will give in to them. If that happens, that's it. They will be in the controlling end in this situation. You have to be very adamant and say, no, I am not going to help. And each time they approach you, the answer should be the same. No. Even if it's 100 times, 1,000 times, it has to be the no. Why? Because this person is practically trying their luck with you. And knowing the situation, remember, you just told me that your wife needs medical attention and you have a lot of expenses to bear for these medical expenses, and yet they are going after you, then it simply shows they do not have any kind of sympathy or empathy towards you.
Because previously I was not like this.
Okay.
This is due to the workplace.
Okay.
So that time we contributed.
Hmm.
So after the accident, they started to ask. My husband still managed to give a little.
Okay.
And after that, we can't because I need to go for surgery.
Okay.
Alright? Then later on, they keep on asking, then I'm telling them the situation,
Mhm.
this is such, and then another movie there.
Hmm.
They so adamant, they keep asking until they come to a stage that, me say,
Mhm. Understand.
then it become like my problem already,
Understand.
Then I feel guilty, I feel
Don't do
depressed.
that. That's what eventually they want. They want you to feel guilty.
Yeah,
Don't fall for it.
and also there's another thing that they see, you wear 2, 3 rings, you reach already.
Hey.
Okay.
Like, you don't wear any gold. If you're wearing chain ring means you're rich.
This is basically they are trying to dictate your life. Whether you want to wear gold or you don't want to wear gold should be your own choice. It's not because of other people. So if they can go to that level, then you have to put a stop to them. If you need to cut ties, you have to cut ties. No choice.
Why can't they ask him to contribute?
Who?
Whoever the person is.
They are already going. They are already seeking their help.
They already broke, they broke. No, that means let's do something to contribute. It should be the other way.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah.
They have to contribute.
See, in this situation, to be very blunt, is I can safely say that don't fall for the loophole. You need to create that confidence in you that you're not going to fall for this
They
gimmick.
are fit and strong. They have to do something. If a lot of foreigners can find 2, 3 jobs here, why can't you do something in many ways? They even can come to a stage that, oh, you got to chain and this thing can pawn and then help me. I say, huh? That is all these are influence.
Okay, I think let's not go to the part whether they should be helping or not. We should now think how we are going to say no. I think our focus let it be there now. So if they are pressurizing you, my suggestion would be to don't fall for this trap. Sometimes people always like to try again and again, hoping that one day the door opens. But if that door is not going to be suitable opening for you, then my suggestion is the answer should be always no. And you have to be
They
adamant.
use certain, like, they use
Certain
words.
phrases to hurt you.
Yeah.
Yes,
that kind of
exactly.
thing.
I
Then
mean,
how do we handle
like I think if you look at the charts here, the one that is the second from the top is my favorite quote. If you are going to throw stones at every dog that barks at you, you will never reach your destination. And that's what Winston Churchill said. And that is what actually I follow. If you are going to be always throwing stones at the dogs that bark at you, you'll never reach your destination. Let people do what they want to do. Let people talk what they want to talk. And you be adamant not to let it inside. Like I always say this, if you go to the beach, right? Or you go to the seaside, in the sea, you can see the ship is floating, right? The ship is such a heavy machine. It's tons and tons of weight, but it's floating on the water. When can the ship sink? Only when there's a hole in the ship. That's where water enters and the ship will sink, right? So we are like a ship. You make sure that you don't get a hole where people can penetrate all their negativity to you. The negativity will be always around you. You cannot escape from this, but you must have the confidence not to let this negativity enter you. Let them say what they want to say. You live your life. This is my suggestion and my perception of life.
Thank you, Doctor. I mean, the discussion has went deeper. Thank you for that question as well. I mean, I'm sure every challenges, every obstacle has a solution. But of course, the person is going through, they are evolving, right, Doctor? Like what your suggestion. And
Yes.
thank you, madam. Thank you, sir, for that question. Any other viewers have any other questions as well? Anybody want to add on something? Madam, first off? Yeah.
Maybe I will just share my experience.
Sure, please.
Recently, my entire family was actually having an issue with a helper, and we had to say no to certain times, and finally she had to get out of the house. So after she left, my husband and I were discussing, and we were thinking we could have said this no earlier, but we didn't. There was some sort of hesitation.
I see.
And then, so these were the kind of things, we discuss and then we reflect, and then we came to a conclusion that, the next time around, when there's time for us to say no, we have to say a no immediately.
Right. So you have decided that no is very powerful and you can say that. I mean, Doctor, I mean, brought up a very good question and she answered as well. Is it because it only happens to these good people? You know, when someone is very good, very kind, or when the person has, you know, stole a property or, you know, suddenly got $1 million or $3 million, and then you see all people will just come and be, oh, how are you, sir? Long time never see you. You know, suddenly everything becomes very sweet.
Oh, it
And
happens.
then the person is, you know, starts spending and spending. After the last dollar, the bees just goes off, just like when the nectar is finished in the flower. So it seems like only the good people are suffering. I'm sorry to use the word suffering. I'm not mean as suffering, but is it because of the too kind, too loving, and people just manipulate and just get every.
I wouldn't say that only good people are suffering or good people go through this. Basically, it's not about good people, it's about people who are naive, people who are vulnerable,
Yes.
people who dare not make decisions in life, people who dare not say no because you feel that you will be hurting the other party. These are the people who actually suffer. So, if you were to ask me whether good people go through this, I might not agree to this because there's a difference between being good, being kind, and being ignorant. So, your ignorance is what that they are using for. Not all good people. There's so many people who got a lot of money. Like what do you say? They sell their house, they get few millions, and yet nobody approaches them because people know that nothing is going to come out from them.
Right, right.
So it is not about the good people. It's you have shown your innocence to them, your ignorance to them, and they are now trying to manifest on that.
Could we say, doctor, because since we in that line or in that discussion, that weakness or kindness is often seen as a weakness?
Possible, possible. Like I said, if if you have $6,000 and you want to give $600 to someone, that can be kindness. But if you only have $300 and you borrowed another $300 to help someone for $600, then I can't consider that kindness. Maybe it's stupidity.
Right.
Well, some people might say there is kindness, but if you really ask me if that is kindness, it might not be.
Okay.
See, I went through a lot of experiences in this financial crisis in my life. And whatever I am saying now, I have experienced it as well. And now, when I think about it, maybe it is not practical to live that way. You have to put a stand. So, kindness also comes with certain regulations and restrictions. Please understand that.
You know,
It's good
doctor.
to be kind. Every religion advocates kindness, but kindness should not be stupidity end of the day.
Doctor, there's a Tamil phrase. If I just say that, and then I will definitely convert that. I mean, some of them don't understand here. In Tamil, "Pattada theriyum." You must get it. You must
Then only you
burn.
know.
Then only you feel it. You know that phrase. You know, some people just have to go through that. But
Uh-huh.
then probably it's like what our dear one of our audience said. You know, now they have ready to say no at any point of time in their life because they have understood what may go wrong. You know, they should have said it earlier. So that's our topic today, right? The power of saying no. And like Doctor, a lot of us we are always impressing the others, right? Whether it's a girlfriend, boyfriend, or some relative, or family, we are always worried about we are losing that particular person, and we're always saying yes and yes and yes, and we are impressing other people's life, and then our life just go downhill, and then later part we notice that we are the one who are going through this misery. About this, Doctor, what can one do?
You see, sometimes, like what you said, it comes with experience. Not everyone has the capacity or capability to say no immediately. That comes with a lot of experiences. And in my experience, let me tell you, those people who have reached a certain point where they don't mind saying no, if you really go and talk to them, they would have been hurt badly. And it's the experience that developed the art of saying no after that. You cannot go to a school and you study a subject and say, I learned how not to say no, how to say yes, no. It comes with a lot of hammering. Sometimes it comes with a lot of hurt. Then you start saying in your life, no, I don't want this. That firmness comes in. So in her case, like what Devi was telling, yes, initially we could have said no, but you were not prepared or understood the importance of saying no at that point of time. Only after going through the entire experience, you've realized maybe I should say no. So in future, if you meet another person like this, very high chance you will say no. Your experience will start speaking for you.
And then if they lose their friends, that's perfectly fine.
Exactly, you have to. You see, let's come to an understanding. Let's accept certain thing. If you say no to a friend and because of that, that friend moved away, they were never your friend from the first. Let's
Right.
accept the reality. If you said no because of some reasons that really that might hurt you, and that friend moved away because you said no, that means they were never your friend. Because a true friend will make you feel good, or he will not leave you because you said no. He will try to understand your situation. That is what friends are. I always tell this. I think spoke this in one of our programs as well. My grandmother used to say one thing when I was young, but I did not understand. So when we go to school, we say, right, all my friends, all my friends, all my friends. My grandmother used to say one thing. When you say friend, that means it's one. And that guy will know everything about you, will do anything for you, and he will support you even when you're not there. That is friend. Not everyone you see on the road, you shake hands, become your friends. So what kind of friendship are we looking at? If you see at 20, when we go to primary one, 300 300 students in the school foyer. What we all said, especially the young children here, what you all said? 300 people in the school foyer, first day of school. When you go back home, what you said? Mommy, I got so many friends in my school. Everybody was your friend. When you reach 20 years old, maybe friends means 50. So all the 50 to 100 came for your wedding. When you become 40, friends means maybe 5. When you reach 60, friends means it's 1 or 2. That's the truth. We have to accept it. The rest were never friends. We were thinking they were friends. There's a difference between your friends and you thought they are your friends. Like I always tell in my class, everyone can laugh at you. That doesn't mean they are your friend. I can be a very friendly person, but that doesn't mean I'm your friend. Don't get confused between friendly person and friends. Many people are very friendly with you, but they are never your friends. But the human mind somehow or other works in a very reverse manner. When somebody laughs with us, talk with us, eat with us, we say, this is my friend, this is my friend. No. So
Doctor,
we have to
we,
understand this. If you need to lose certain people because you need to safeguard yourself, you got no choice.
got it, Doctor. I mean, as we are talking about this topic, there's so many questions that's coming in right now. So I do not know which one to pick it. And I'm sure our audiences here as well has got questions. So we got to make sure that we are balanced here. We are now at almost 1 hour of our discussion. And it seems just like, for me, it's 1 minute. I'm not sure how many of you all felt that way because the discussion is going deeper. We're not have reached to the end yet because I know this is just the starting of the journey. We may get into troubles if you think that if you're saying no, but unfortunately, or the fortunate thing is, yes, we will not. Like what Dr. Ravi has said, you got to say no. Even though you feel bad, or even though you think that if by saying no, you lose the relationship, it's better to lose now rather than later part in your life where you get hurt or get into more troubles. I'm going to take one more question here
I just,
before.
just to add on one example,
Yeah.
Vanan here, I just give you a small scenario.
Sure.
Let everyone think about it.
Okay, the scenario for me.
For everyone.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, for everyone. Okay, what happened? Say, for example, now you ask me for $1,000. One asked Ravi for $1,000.
Okay.
Actually, I got no heart to give you. And actually, I don't want to give you.
Okay.
But I dare not say no for some reasons.
Okay.
Then I said, okay, I give you. And then I give you. But after that, I went around telling everyone, once asked me for $1,000, I gave him, I don't know why he wanted. I don't know whether he will give or not. He asked me, actually, I got no heart to give, but the day I gave him. Basically, what am I doing? I'm tarnishing your name.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to express that you put me into a difficult situation.
Okay.
Which is better? Saying no to you and cut off the entire thing, or giving you the $1,000 and going around talking bad about you? When we were in the 20s, 30s, or even in the 40s, maybe we would be doing that. Give the $1,000, then go around telling everybody what you'd asked for. But maybe at the age of 50s, 60s, 70s, the majority should step in and say, once I got the money, but I don't feel like giving you, I'm sorry. It's
Right.
because of that you're going to cut me away, then too bad. You can't respect my decision.
Gotcha.
That is where maturity and courage comes in. At 20s, 30s, 40s, maybe we can be like that. But once you're reaching 50s, 60s, and 70s, there should be a kind of a footage that you should put your foot down and say, no, I have the money, but to be very honestly, I don't want to give it to you now. You must think, you see, when you ask me for the help, there's two things that can happen. Either I help you, I'll say no. You must accept both answers. If not, you're not my friend.
Okay, doctor, but why do you feel that you don't want to give the $1,000, but you
I
still
have
give?
my own personal reasons
Is
because
it a-
I had, okay, for example, I had a friend before, for example,
okay?
and I gave him some money, and because of that, we ended up in a big fight, and I lost him. I don't want to lose you also.
Oh, so your no
I'm
is
not,
helping
yes,
me.
correct. The
Yeah.
no that I'm telling to you might be because I don't want to lose you.
Right,
So I rather say no to you today. If you can't accept it, it's too bad. But I don't want to lose you, so I'm saying no. So
right, got it.
sometimes when we say no to someone, not necessarily we are wrong or we are not a right person or we are a selfish person. Sometimes we want to protect our interests.
Okay,
And if
doctor,
you're a good friend, you will respect my interests.
gotcha, doctor. But now I got a real situation right now.
Okay.
I can't say no to many people that's asking so many questions right now. Woo! I'm really getting exhausted. I
Okay.
know, not yet, right?
Okay,
I
not yet,
still have
not
the
yet.
energy,
Yes.
but right now, there is one question that asked by a single parent. I'm gonna answer that as well because
Okay.
she's, I think, new to our virtual. But
Okay.
again, I have received a message, but definitely name will not be mentioned. Do not worry if you're watching this. I'm going to read it out to everyone. I think it's very important, Dr. Ravi. That's what exactly we talked about,
Okay.
right? So let's say we call this person Mr. B, right? One of my close friends who goes with me for jogging almost every day asks a $10,000. Not 1,000, huh? But really.
Okay.
$10,000. I gave a blunt no. Now he does not talk to me or go jogging with me. He also jogging for them.
Okay.
Okay, not on a laughing note, but serious, all right? One of my relatives asked for an emergency loan to avoid the bank taking over their house as they could not pay the mortgage. I got an emotional blackmail. So doctor is having us emotional right now. Not sure how to avoid this and not sure how to say no. I ended up giving the money I can afford to give and not expecting it back. But I do not like the experience of kind of forcing me and drag me into this financial mismanagement. So please help.
Okay. First thing, they have already given the money.
He has already given.
Okay, good luck to them.
Okay.
Okay. So now, are they expecting the money to
He's not
come?
expecting. He already gave it, saying that never mind.
Okay.
First he said no, he got an emotional blackmail. But after he gave already, he also said, never mind, I never get back also, I can afford it, but never mind.
Okay. So what is that help him? He's settled.
Because worried that it may happen again. Because I think he can't take emotional.
Okay. Okay. If he were to be going through this the first time, then maybe he's ignorant. But if he's going to face this the second time, then he should make the decision. He should ensure that he should not be going through this again. He should have the courage that he's not going to repeat this again, and he should safeguard himself. And remember one thing: emotional blackmail is one of the most dirtiest trick
Anyone
people
can
can use on you.
Okay, Mr. B, you're watching this. You need to say no. And I know if you're too rich, we all got 10,000. You can give us also. Yeah, give us. On a serious note, Mr. B, please, okay, we have to say no. Like today's topic is very powerful. Say no, never mind. Even if you're left with only one friend, even if you don't have friend, also never mind, because ourselves is our biggest friend. Yeah, it will happen again. So he's sorry.
He knows it happened again, right? He has to say no. Yes, it's important. Yeah.
Okay, doctor, I'm going to take one more final question from the virtual. Hello, do you have any advice for single parent who I find have lots of difficulty in saying no, especially when they feel they need to overcompensate for the other parent?
Do you have any advice for single parents who who I find have a lot of difficulty in saying no,
Yes.
especially when they feel they need to overcompensate for the other parent? They have to draw their lines. Because you see, when they say the other parents means I think they are talking about the ex-spouse, right? So definitely there is a kind of attachment or some kind of a family structure that goes on there. Whatever it is, they should draw their lines. What was their agreement when they both separated? And what did the court say? What kind of terms they came up to? And they have to follow that system. That is one of the reasons why mediators actually come up with a system in the court and make it very clear why they have to follow this system. So you have to say no to them, or if you think that you're overcompensating, you have to put a stop to it immediately and do what is right for you.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you for that question. I just Jeremy Mala. Jayabalan. Sorry if I pronounce your name wrongly. Doctor, Mr. B have messaged me again. Yeah, it will happen again. Thanks, Vanan, and thanks, Doctor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. B. Don't do that, please. Okay. We have come to 1 hour and 10 minutes. Time just flies. Thank you so much for the virtual audiences. And here we have a lot of audience. I think we are going to engage more after we end this show as well. But before we go on, I'm just going to take few more just messages to show. Thank you so much, Lavanya, for all the messages. Chana Mohan also as well. Vidya, Lakshmi, Samantha, thank you so much. All of you all are just pouring down. If you all can just share and like to your Facebook, and more friends will be able to come in, more families, friends, everybody can just come and discuss about this. It will be in Spotify and Apple Podcasts of Kopi With Vans with Dr. Ravee of the positivity of saying no. Thank you so much. Doctor, any final tip as usual, like what we do
Oh, yeah.
for Kopi With Vans?
See, we have to come to an understanding. Sometimes saying no can be very tough at that point of time. But in the long run, you will see you have saved yourself to a large level. It is that point of time, that spur of moment, you need to build the courage and say no. And you will see in the long run, eventually you're benefiting from it and everything falls in place. So don't hesitate to say no if you really feel that the situation is not in your favor and you need to say a no there. You have to.
Thank you so much, Doctor. I mean, thank you so much. It's such a valuable, priceless information today. I'm sure all the audiences and virtual audiences as well, they will have enjoyed it. There's a saying like, Doctor, even if you sit in a hot pot, even that 1 second seems like 100 hours.
Yes.
But now it's like 1 hour and 12 minutes. It just seems like 1 second, isn't it? It just seems like 1 second.
Quite
Anybody
fast.
thinking? Nobody, right?
Not yet.
Everybody's wide awake. Everybody's wide awake. How is that possible?
Because the topic is something that touches everyone. They're all engaging. You see, when we are talking about this no, now everyone's mind is thinking, who did I say no to? Who didn't I say no to? And when tomorrow was, who am I going to say no to?
They're going to say
Because everyone is involved and caught up with this.
Yeah.
Majority of us are caught up in not able to say no. We all caught up in it. Whether it's the boss, our family people, our children, relatives, friends, somewhere we are all caught. And that is the problem we are going through. And everyone is able to connect with us because they all are going through this as well.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you so much. So I'm just going to show the last few messages. Thank you so much, Shanti, Udaya, Sharon, Kevin. You guys are such a great audience because we're going to have engagement later on as well. Chana, thank you so much. Deepam, yeah, and as well. A lot more people. I'm just stuck with words. I'm not sure what I'm going to say, but it's definitely going to be in podcast and Spotify as well. Please do subscribe for it. Kopi With Vans. You can look out for Dr. Ravee and Vans, Kopi With Vans, and on the topic of positivity of saying no. Thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank
for
you.
On site, and I'm sure after this we're going to have 15 or 20 minutes
Yeah,
with
sure.
our audiences as well because they have been patiently listening actively. I'm sure they have certain questions as well. Thank you, JNT, for that. Thanks, Vance and Dr. Ravee. Thank you so much. We have a lot of messages that's pouring in, Doctor, right now.
All right, sure. That's nice.
Thank you. So we will catch you all guys and girls again in the next Kopi events with a different topic. Probably Dr. Ravee might just pop up again because of popularity on this topic or different topic that we might plan in future. But looking at his schedule, probably Kopi events may have a Kopi with him on a later date, right, Doctor?
Yeah, sure.
All right,
Sure.
thank you. So we'll catch you all again. Till then, as usual, this is Vance, audience. Thank you so much in another session of Kopi With Vans. Ciao.